I am doing the reading habits tag that I saw over on Cozy Reads channel. I'll leave a link down below, as well as probably something across the top of the screen. So as part of this tag there are 10 questions all about your reading habits. I will be looking at them on my phone because I can't remember what they are, but I'll also leave links to them all down below in case anyone wants to do this later. Question 1. Do you read at home or everywhere? So usually I do all my reading at home, especially the past 3 months. I've not really been able to go anywhere else to do my reading. I occasionally read at work, on my lunch if I've not got anyone to talk to during a lunch break, but I do actually do most of my reading at home. A few years ago I used to do a lot of reading on public transport, but since I've got my own car, that has dramatically dropped off. Question 2. Do you eat or read while reading? I was going to go with do you eat while reading? So yes, I do. I will read and eat. I've managed to perfect a slow page turn whilst I'm eating like stuff with a fork, or if I've got a sandwich. It does make it difficult, but it is something that I have learnt to do. It's easier if I'm reading sort of on a screen, so if I've got a Kindle app up on the computer, if I'm reading something on Wattpad or fanfiction, I can read on a screen. I do read blog posts quite a bit when I'm eating, but I do also know how to read a physical book whilst I'm eating, mainly because if there's a book that I'm really engrossed into, I don't want to put it down even for food. Question 3. Do you have a certain place at home for reading? So I read in bed. So I have a reading bed or down on my sofa. I don't have a specific chair or room to read in. It just depends on wherever I'm feeling coziest. So I will occasionally sort of put blankets and covers and cushions around on the sofa and sort of nest into a little spot to sit and read, or I'll climb into bed. But I am a fidgety reader, so I have to find somewhere that I can be as comfortable for as long as possible without needing to change position. Question 4. Do you read one book or several at a time? This depends. So I usually try and just read one book in a go, but sometimes I'll have a few open. If you want my Goodreads and check my currently reading, there's 4 books on there. I'm not reading all them at once, but I have started them and not finished some of them. But I have occasionally read more than one book at the same time, depending on what it's for. So if I've had an arc that I've had to try and get done, I might have to pick that up in the middle of reading something else. However, I don't try and do one book one day, one book another day, just to try and keep the storylines as straight in my head as possible. I would prefer to go through one entire book before reading another one, but that's not going to stop me from starting multiple books in a row and then deciding which one I want to finish first. Question 5. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a certain number of pages or at the end of a chapter? So I like to read for a set amount of times, so I've been time blocking recently and trying to block in like an hour of reading. So as soon as I get to that sort of hours up, I don't stop. I wait until I'm either at the end of a page where there's a full stop at the end of the page, or the end of a chapter. Either one of those. I don't like stopping halfway through a page. I forget where I am, I forget what I've read up to, and I just have to reread it anyway. So I'd prefer to stop where there's like a full stop at the end of a page, and that usually is at the end of the chapter. I just don't like stopping in the middle of a page. Question 6. How do you mark your spot? Because I don't finish reading until I'm at the end of a page or at the end of a chapter, I just use a bookmark, chuck a bookmark in, and I know I'm starting on that page. Question 7. Do you read out loud or silently in your head? Silently in my head. I might occasionally mutter something if I'm rereading a sentence that doesn't make as much sense, or if I've read it and it's not quite stuck, but it is usually just silent reading, just going for it. Question 8. Multitasking. Do you listen to music or the TV while reading? No, I do not. I can't have something on in the background whilst I'm reading, because otherwise I'm not paying attention to either thing. So I'll be trying to focus on both at the same time, which means that I've just wasted however much time I've been reading because nothing will have gone in. So I try to just read in silence. I don't mind reading in silence. I think it's more peaceful. I find that I enjoy my books more. Unless I put classical music on, and we're reading in silence. Question 9. Do you read ahead or even skip pages? Yes and no. I had a habit when I was younger where I would read the last page of a book when I got halfway through, just because I needed to know how it ends. So a book that I'm really engrossed in, I have to know the ending, and I have read the last page. I have stopped doing that because I was just ruining books for myself, and then like I'd have half a book where I'd just be reading going, no, I can't believe this happens. So I have stopped doing that. I have tried to rein it in. If I've got a physical book, occasionally I might catch a few lines from pages in front, which is how I ruined one day for myself. So I might catch something that does actually give something away, and then I just need to read as fast as I can. It's one of the reasons why I like my Kindle, because I think my Kindle is what broke my habit of reading the last page, because as soon as I got that I can't get to the last page unless I read through it. And so I have actually really enjoyed having a Kindle for that reason. It means that I am just focused on the bit that I'm in, and if I want to get to the ending I've just got to read quicker. Question 10. Break the spine or keep it like new. So I don't intentionally break the spines of books, I just read them. If the spine breaks whilst I'm reading it, don't bother me. I don't mind, because I kind of like the fact that it looks like the book's being read. I understand why people would like to keep the spines as straight and neat as possible, but if I've got a paperback, sometimes it's really difficult to read it without breaking the spine, at least somewhat. I think that's why hardbacks are slightly better if you want a decorative bookshelf. Spines are less likely to be broken, however I do break the dust jackets by accident, because I don't take them off when I'm reading and then they just get caught on things. I know, I'm a nightmare. Question 11. Do you write in your books? No, I don't like writing in books. I don't know why, it's just something where I just really dislike it. I have got over it a little bit. I had to write in my books for A-levels and some of my degree to make notes, and yeah, it kind of goes through me a little bit. I don't think it's as much of a problem when it's sort of a non-fiction book and you're using it to learn from, but I hate writing in my storybooks. I just don't like how it looks. I think it's distracting. If there's anything there other than just the text, I will read that, so I will read my old notes and then jump back and forth and lose my place, and I don't like that, so I don't do it. So there was actually 11 questions there. I accidentally put 2 questions together and didn't realise until I was going through them that it was actually 2 separate questions. I hope that you enjoyed my answers to these questions. I don't think they're that exciting or out there, but it's nice to always just let people know what your reading habits are. If you do want to do this tag, all the questions will be down below, and let me know if you have done it so I can go and give your videos a watch as well. I hope that you've really liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a like, and also don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more videos from myself. There's a new video on here every single Sunday at 4 PM. I hope you're all well and you're all staying safe, and I shall see you all soon. Bye!